fucking get hit and keep moving forward.
And welcome everyone to the New Japan Weekly Show here exclusively on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the host of Devious One Ivan C here with me familia, my other host, mi compadre, my blood brother right here, the man with the IQ that Gato needs to have more to book in New Japan, especially with this man right here, Dan Bakley, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on, Bakley?
What is going on? We got Tim chiming in, my dudes, SANADA. Put the ones up. We'll get into that in a second because we've got a lot to say about a certain somebody from a certain time yesterday. We've been waiting a long time for it, but we'll get into that when we get to that match. But be ready.
Oh, man, I am ready. I am stoked. Oh, scissor me. There you go. We're going to scissor you right there, my brother. That is right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, what a round two of this New Japan Cup. So we're here back to go ahead and review the second round and parts of the quarterfinals because it happened earlier a couple hours ago on our time in America time. So later on this evening, the remaining of the quarterfinals will happen later on as well. So stay tuned for that as well, ladies and gentlemen, because
we got Marcus chiming in. One's up. What's up, everyone?
What's going on, Marcus?
You got Marcus from the World Elite podcast. You check them out each week. They're going live more often now. We got a new logo. They got Jordan back. Great show. Check them out on YouTube.
Absolutely. That's right. World Elite podcast. Check them out, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. Let's look at the tournament bracket very quick before we start with the review and the shows. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. Yeah. This cup, ladies and gentlemen, has been stupendous, how Vincent Kennedy McMahon would say, but this has been really, really good. So we're going to get into the action now. Let's start off with the second round reviews. And, of course, we got Tama Tonga versus Aaron Hanare. Jesus, this match was quality at its best. It was so much good shit. The fact that, seeing just the counters from Hanare and Tama Tonga within each other. And, man, Aaron Hanare right here looked like a star in this matchup. You look phenomenal in this one. And no pun intended, AJ Styles. Yeah. But, man, this was just seeing there's a bright future for Aaron Hanare, Bakley. A lot of bright future. And I love it.
What did I tell you before? How, ever since he incorporated that MMA background of his, it's kind of diversitized who he is. He came in as more like a bruiser. And I love the fact that Jeff Cobb, I believe Jeff Cobb was on commentary.
Yes.
And they made the notion that he was working a lot with Tama Tonga, and Tama Tonga was trying to groom him during the Bullet Club, and he chose Huntai instead. And then Jeff Cobb made the little quirk. He was like, I think he made the right decision where he's at now, which was kind of funny. But he was just adding that extra to commentary. Like when he locked in Ultima, he was like, once he locks those hands, it's done. He was like, and then Kevin Kelly was like, unlike last time where he kind of let go of Ultima in the fight against Shingo to then use Rampage, he was like, he needs to just stick it on there and hold it. And that's what kind of did him in, was the fact that he didn't hold Ultima in to get him to tap out, because he was getting the fade, and it looked like he did fade, but then he popped up. And then Aaron Hanare let go of the submission, and that's when he got hit with the with the gun stun and pinned 1, 2, 3. But it was a hard fought match.
Oh yeah.
And I'm telling you, I can't wait for Hanare versus Shingo Takagi because he earned that KOPW title shot.
Oh yes, I think he does, and then not only that, but he could be a title contender for the never open weight title versus Tama Tonga too, because he proved that he can get to that level. I like Hanare, the fact that especially you mentioned that he brought that MMA attributes, but also what he did. It looked like a deep six, right? But it's just that slam that he does. Oh man, Hanare has really been impressing me. This match he took Tama Tonga to the limit, and I'm telling you, this tournament has not disappointed at all.
No.
It's been such good.
And then the crowd has added an extra element to it, just with the constant like cheering and constant like chanting of guys' names, like which we haven't seen on like a consistent basis over the last 2 years because of how strict Japan is. But it's made it a lot more enjoyable. And I love the one thing with Hanare I love is those kicks, the snapping kicks to the stomach that he does. And in this one, he did it to the back. He was kind of like trying to slow him down, hurt him more. And he tried to think too much. He was like, let me fade him with the ultimate let go and then finish him like I did last time. And because Tama did his homework, he knew when he let go, he was going to have this one moment to strike.
Yeah. Oh, no. I totally agree, man. Oh, such good shit. Great opening on this one for the second round of the tournament. Loved it. All right, let's move on to the next one. What do we got next, Bakley? What is the next one right here?
We got Hiroki Goto, who defeated Kyle Fletcher, one half of RZ Open.
Oh, man. I can tell you, Fletcher, he took Goto to the limit as well. We mentioned last week, I love the fact that we're seeing now the individuals of who they really are, and not just a tag team, but we're getting exposed to who Mark Davis is, who is Kyle Fletcher is in this tournament, and seeing Fletcher what he's capable to do has been chef's kiss, because man, this guy is so underrated, and the sell that he does is such good shit, man.
And Will Ospreay said he was like, I didn't just get him because they were a tag team. He was like, when I met them, they were singles guys that decided to become a tag team, and they did well. And I love just the little details, Kevin Kelly, about them that I didn't really know. Like, I didn't know that they were going to be in PWG, and then Mark Davis blew out his knee and had to have ACL surgery, and that kind of like he hasn't been the same. And then that's why he's only been like a tag team specialist, is because of that.
Oh yeah.
So I liked a little bit of that. And then we've had all of United Empire as like guest commentary guys, along with Chase Owens. We've had each one go on there, and he really tested Hiroki Goto. Like, he saw what happened with Yoshihashi, and he kind of incorporated the same thing. A lot of clotheslines, a lot of close combat. He was like using his size, using the outside. It's just that Goto always finds a way in certain scenarios. And I love the fact where Kyle Fletcher went to pick him up, and Goto got him on the top rope, held him down, and then boom, hit him there. Didn't finish him there, picked him up, and then hit him with the finish.
Hit him with the GTR, baby, and that was GTR. It. Yep, GTR, it was over. And, of course, Goto advances, which, I was happy at least for Kyle, at least to make it to the second round. But Goto, it's Goto, man. You can't go wrong with the legend of Goto.
And he still holds the record for most New Japan Cup tournament wins with 3.
Oh, that's right. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And the most appearances, I believe so, too. So that's you're absolutely right on that. All right, let's get on to the next one, baby. What do we got next? Oh, man. We got
Evil defeats Jeff Cobb. I really love this matchup. I'll get started with this one because, of course, the match started out great. It was a one-on-one, no interferences in the beginning. It went back and forth. I thought, once again, as always, Evil always gets thrown into the timekeeper's table, and it falls out. It never, like, if there's a bet that you ever want to make it an evil match, it's that the timekeeper is going to get knocked over with the table on top of him, because it always happens. That's like a staple of his match. But then you see all of House of Torture get involved. You see Great O'Khan get handcuffed to the time table so he can't move. You see Kyle Fletcher and I believe Aaron Hanari get attacked from behind by Show after they were trying to carry Dick Togo out, and Show had the wrench. And then that's when Evil kind of took over, and they kind of systematically just 4-on-1 Jeff Cobb, and then he hit Everything Is Evil, and then picks up the victory. They used the numbers games in this match to get Evil the victory. But the funny thing is just that these two groups have been going back and forth. The day before, they had like a 3-on-3, and I just happened to catch it, and Show gets the victory for House of Torture with the wrench, and he runs around the whole building hiding away from, I believe it was Jeff Cobb, because Jeff Cobb got hit with the wrench. So it's just like another part of how the House of Torture uses the tactics to win and then run. And we're seeing in a second that Great O'Khan stayed handcuffed to the time cable for not just this match, but the main event as well.
Oh man! But I can tell you that this match I was very entertaining. Yeah. Especially when Jeff Cobb got Togo and surfs up, dude. There you go. He got the surfs up right on Dick Togo and Evo. He's all right. We got to surf up, and man, I enjoyed it. It was an awesome match. I think. I just didn't like, of course, the outcome of it, because I did not expect the outcome of this one. I really thought it would be Cobb, making it, towards the next round. And this you mentioned about Great O'Khan being been locked up. They won't let him out. Locked up. They won't let him out, ladies and gentlemen. So he was there the whole night of this event in handcuffs. Nobody came and gave him a fucking key. What the hell, Kevin? Even Kevin Kelly. Somebody get him out of there. Somebody get him a key. Nothing at all. Nobody came and released and helped out. Oh, what's going on? That is right.
What's going on?
That is right. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, we are also live on Twitch, on the Bloodline Entertainment Network Twitch channel, Cage My King Twitch channel, Circle the Mate Twitch channel. We're live everywhere, baby. This is where we're at.
We're taking advantage of all the platforms that are given to us.
Absolutely. We're all live, ladies and gentlemen.
And one move that I love, like it's more of like a setup move. I love the spin cycle by Jeff Cobb, because it's kind of like a reverse Tour of the Islands, where he goes the other way.
Yes.
And then he just spins and slams his opponent. Like, he hit that. I thought it was going to be over. I thought that was the beginning of the end for Evil, but that's kind of what signaled House of Torture to come out after he hit that. And then that's when everything went to shit the bed for Jeff Cobb.
But the only thing, too, that I like about this match, too, because it was so entertaining, was the fact that Jeff Cobb fucking used Dick Togo to do the Magic Killer. That's where I was like, what? He used Jeff Cobb used Togo to do the Magic Killer.
He sold it so well, because once they hit it, Dick Togo rolled out to the outside. So he sold it so well within that. Because at first they tried to do it to him, and then he got down and then kind of reversed it.
Exactly. Man, I was so fucking pissed when the outcome Evil won. Just
the fuck.
That's exactly how it was. I was like, no.
I kind of figured he would win, just because matchup wise. I just didn't think that they were going to have all these United Empire matchups. So I kind of took a guess that he was going to win.
Yeah, I was just like, son of a bitch, man. I was just so fucking pissed. Why Evil, damn it? But okay, fine, I'll take it.
And of course, we got to mention Chase Owens was on commentary, and then he was like, "Come on, Evil, go Evil," blah blah blah. But what is the dynamic with the Bullet Club and House of Torture? Because after they won the match, they were mocking Great O'Khan, but then they kind of ignored Chase Owens. They just didn't act like he existed there. So I'm like, I want to know what the notion between both parts of Bullet Club is. Like they root for each other, but then they don't acknowledge each other at the same time.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. What do we got next? Oh, baby. I need to hit it. Where are you? Damn it! Will Ospreay got hurt. Will Ospreay was injured in this match. That was when he faced Mark Davis.
As you see right there, he suffers injury. And after this, he was pulled from the tournament. So Mark Davis did move on. They kept him in the spot. But in this match, Will Ospreay picked up the victory. And I know the exact spot where he got hurt. Will Ospreay was put to like in between the ropes. And then he was looking downwards. And then that's when Mark Davis did his signature run up with the knee and did the jump kick knee. And he's supposed to hit him in like the sternum area or like the neck area, but he hit him in the shoulder, and then that's when he kind of dropped down. You could see him holding it as Mark Davis was rolling up the pads over him to do the senton standing senton splash to him that he hit in the match before to Yano. He did the same thing here, and then you could see him holding it a little bit more, and then you see Kevin Kelly go. I think he pulled his shoulder out or whatnot. And I believe Harnari was no. Chase Owens goes, yeah, he pulled his shoulder out.
Yeah, no, he pulled the shoulders for sure.
And it was early in the match, so it's like kind of gutsy the fact that he still did 15 more minutes in the ring after he did that.
Oh man, Jesus Christ! You can never go wrong with a Will Ospreay match, man. Never ever can go wrong with Will Ospreay. But
and then he gets. One of the big moves in this match that like made me cringe a little bit was the pop-up power driver. They just picked him up, and Mark Davis picked him up and then just dropped him down very quickly towards the end of the match. We got Will Gray trying.
What's going on, Will Gray? What's going on, my brother?
But that was a little cringe. But this match was just a brawl. Like they just kept on going at each other. And it really showcased like Mark Davis in this match of being a singles guy. Like he did a great job, and I'm glad he got this moment, even though he lost the match here.
Jesus! And with the injured shoulder, look at that. That shoulder is fucked up, and he's still fucking wrestling.
And this wasn't even the finish. This was he kicked out of this, and then that's when he did the front hidden. He did the hidden braid from the front instead. And got that victory there. But there's some great spots just here and there. You had him off the top rope. I think the vertical suplex from Davis to Ospreay, they got really high up on that one.
That was super high. I'll bring it up right now. I actually have the picture for it, so let me bring it up for you. That one was just like
I like that spot.
I like that spot too. That spot was great. Let me see. There you go. See, look at that. Oh my god, that's good shit. Jesus,
but this was a fun match though, and then of course like they made the notion that was like Kyle Fletcher, who are you rooting for? Because he was on Mark Davis' side, but then Kevin Kelly goes, well, Harnari's on Ospreay's side. They're just evening up the cheerleading groups.
Yeah,
and then you had a Great O'Khan who couldn't even move. He was still handcuffed. The funny moment was when Will Ospreay walked out and he looked at Great O'Khan. He's like, what happened to you? And he goes like this.
I know.
He was like,
I'm behind cuff. Anybody help me? Like
he was like, there's nothing I could do. And then they went on to have the match. And then they just leave him after the match.
I know. They left and he was all sad. He was like, oh, fun. They left me alone. Oh, man. But this match was great. I really enjoyed it. It was, we're seeing the best of Mark Davis, but I feel this is just the beginning of it. When we get into the next one with him, I have a lot to say about that one. But this one here, we got to see, like I said, we saw Fletcher. Now we're seeing the moment of Mark Davis. And I'm going to say right now, Mark Davis really reminds me of fucking the early beginning career when he went to All Japan, New Japan, Stan Hansen. He fucking reminds me of that. The mystique, his size
Kevin Kelly called him that too. He called him like the modern day Stan Hansen too.
Yes.
He made that claim, and I was like, oh shit, that means something.
That's way meaning something. And I mean, for you to be compared to the Great Late, like he's not gone, but I'm saying like during his his tenure during his prime, Stan Hansen. God, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are not familiar with Stan Hansen, go back. Now we have technology. You're able to go back and look at his early stages of All Japan, New Japan days, his early stages of his career, him teaming up with Bruiser Brody too. Like it just, man. You compare Mark Davis, that's a perfect comparison there. Because that Davis, I'm so happy for where he's at right now in his career. And I'm not saying that I'm not glad that Ospreay got hurt, but this gives him the opportunity to show who he really is now. And we're seeing
and it showcases the leadership of Will Ospreay with what he does. And like we say it all the time, United Empire is always out there rooting for one of the members of their own team, but they never get involved in the match. They just root, even if it's not going their way, unless like somebody from the other side gets involved in the match, so it kind of even things out. But they're rooting for one of their own. And at the end, I liked how they bowed down to each other, shook each other's hands, and then they knew that they had a great match. Like I look at this match, and I was like, damn, this was one of the best of the tournament so far. That's how good it was. And of course, I loved Davis's nickname, Dump Truck Davis.
Yes, love it. That's a fucking awesome fucking. Oh man, I can't wait. Good shit. What do we got next, Bakley?
We got David Finlay, who defeated Great O'Khan. It's kind of fitting since this was the next day. 2 days. This was 2 days later. This was a great match. I thought it was good, back and forth. We saw a lot of the Mongolian chops.
Yeah!
This didn't last long. This was probably one of the shorter matches of the tournament. And
13 minutes.
Yeah, it was one of the shorter ones. And just out of nowhere, like it caught you like by surprise. They doing a spin around, they're reversing each other, and then out of nowhere, boom, Trash Panda for the victory. He catches it out of nowhere, and it's like good job, David Finlay. Like he's turned over a new leaf, being the leader of the Bullet Club. You got the Rebel Club. You see him, of course, him and ELP just going at each other. That dynamic, I mentioned it last week. I'm like, ELP is going to go face soon because he's just not resonating with that. And Kevin Kelly even says it a couple times. He's like, he thinks that ELP is jealous that he wasn't named leader of the Bullet Club. And then at the same time, he comes out, and then Gato has a new nickname now. Was it Bloody something?
What was it? Oh, fuck. What did he say? Bloody.
It's not.
I forgot what he said.
Yeah, it's he's not the blacksmith anymore. He's the bloody son.
The bloody son, something like that. Yeah, he said something like that.
But I like the evil like heel edge that David Finlay has added. Like he kicked Great O'Khan in like the knee or in the thigh. It's a move that he wouldn't have done before to gain an edge when Great O'Khan was getting the better of him. And then every time like Great O'Khan would get the best, he'd do one of those tactics to take over. And then towards the end, he always finds a way to hit that Trash Panda in transition, like spinning around. He hits that, gets the 1, 2, 3, caught us out of nowhere because it wasn't defended at all. It wasn't reversed. It just out of nowhere. And he moves on. I'm telling you, like this guy's going to find a way to win it. And I'm calling it right now. He's going to win this, and then he's going to beat Okada.
Oh.
I'm telling you. You heard it here.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. He's calling it out. And what? Really? You're saying that? You're really saying that? Oh, what's going on?
What's going on, Dom? Damn Shane getting hurt mid-turn. Yeah, that sucks because I was hoping it was going to be Finlay versus Ospreay. You got that built-in rivalry already there when he was a face. So now he's a heel and Ospreay is a face. So it would have switched roles, and it just sucks. So then you got JoJo. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. What's going on? It's just I'm liking this tournament. I'm liking how everything's shaping out. Except for Ospreay getting hurt.
Yeah. I mean, for me, this match, I mean, it was great. My only thing that I really critique in this one is Finley's aggression towards him was not what I expected of this. I kind of wanted more. And that's what he didn't really deliver in this. Damn it, Finley! Aggression. Gotta bring that Bruce's aggression.
Gotta bring it.
Just let him bring it more to my foot more. Because this was like, hey, what? You were supposed to be like a leader for the Bullet Club? Like, I don't know if I could really. Nah, this match didn't do it for him. I mean, like, it was great, but it just that's the only for me was the critique that I had that it was not really the heelish of Finley. I needed more of that, and that's what he's missing. And it's like I know it is funny because I'm looking at it like I'm going back and I'm really comparing him to the Jay White early stages when he already joined the Bullet Club. It's almost the same. It's almost like it's kind of almost hitting that same. That's right. Yes, Brian. Ruthless aggression. My chat time brother right there. Yes. Running wild, baby. You got me hard, King.
Gotta contain myself.
I know. Gotta contain myself. Jesus, but yeah, man. Yeah, that's the only thing that I can say about this match. I mean, you broke it down, you nailed it. Can't really more add on to what I'm just saying. That's pretty much what I had.
I kind of wish it would have been a longer match because then we could have seen more of that. But then because of how short it was, like they had to kind of rush a little bit. I think. But then there's that notion with Dave Finley, how he said that he's kind of just flowing through the tournament, kind of unknown. Like, even though he's turned here, he's the leader of the Bullet Club, you're not noticing how much he's going through the tournament without that buzz, without that everybody looking at him. It's like they're still like comparing him to being that wild card.
Yeah, totally agree with that. I absolutely agree. All right, what do we got next, Bakley?
Let's fucking go.
Oh, I got you. Hold on.
Let's fucking go.
All right, let's go.
We got the next matchup here. We got Shota Umino, who defeats Zack Sabre Jr. This is one of my favorite matches of the tournament right here. I feel a rivalry being brewed just in front of our eyes between these two guys. I love Shota Umino. We've talked about him being like a combination between like Naito meets John Moxley with the way that he looks like Naito and he does a lot of the same mannerisms and movements, but then he's got that bad side like Moxley. He carries the jack and everything. And he goes up against Zack Sabre Jr., who's the most technical wrestler in this one. I love the moves that he was doing in here, like locking in the sleeper, moving to the side, pulling his arm out. At one point towards the end of the match, he had that submission on him, and he's pressing against his head, and his legs are there. And who's on commentary? I'm trying to was it Fletcher?
I think it was Fletcher who was on commentary.
Yeah, and Fletcher, and he makes the notion. He was like, he's so close to the ropes, but he doesn't even notice it because he's so much in pain and looks like he's about to pass out. Yep. He just gets his leg out in time to touch it. And these guys had a lot of back and forth moments where you had Zack Sabre Jr. kept on kicking him in the back of the knee and just kicking him in the arm to kind of like keep him at bay. But one of my favorite spots was towards the end. I mentioned to you before we went on was they switch each other. They're towards each other's backs, holding each other with the double underhooks. And then they just go back and forth. And then out of nowhere, Shota Umino turns Zack Sabre Jr. around and hits him with the Death Rider for the 1, 2, 3. And it's like, this is that match, that win. That's like, okay, Shota Umino's on the map. This was that big win for him. He beat champion. He beat the reigning defending New Japan Cup winner from last year in Zack Sabre Jr. And I kind of like the respect at the end where he's like, you beat me. he was like, "You beat me. I'm pissed as always, but you beat me." And he acknowledges it. Like that's big from a guy like CSJ. That's big.
Oh
And
yeah, it's big.
And you know that just like before, when you beat a champ, that puts you next in line. And they made the notion that he knows that he could get a TV title shot now, but he's still looking for the New Japan Cup win. So he kind of was like, here's your belt. Like, I'm not thinking about you right now, but if I lose, be on the lookout because we're going to be wrestling again. So I can't wait to see that rematch.
Oh yeah, and man, this match was a banger, man, because it just seeing these guys going and seeing Death Rider. You want to see? Hey, you want to talk about Death Rider? Wow, look at that motherfucker, Death Rider! I am. Boom, man, that's all over, baby. Oh, uno, dos, tres. This was, I think, a test for Umino because it's like if you're at the dojo, and it's like Shibata. Pretty much, it's almost like Zack Zomber's taking you to school. Like, all right, I'm gonna take your ass to school with submissions, and you see Red Shoes being concerned about his son. Hey, you're bleeding, man, you're bleeding, and he was busted open, and and Zombre with the forearms with his arm twist, and even with the guillotine with the triangle choke. I mean, it's just. And then we see Umino too try to do like his own style of arm bars and everything. Like, oh shit, all right. We're seeing the submission guy of Umino, and I'm like, oh, all right. So Umino's showing up, huh? And let me I have a picture of that. He's busted open, man.
Zack Sabre Jr. took Shota out of his element and tested him and wanted to see what he would do when something happened that he wasn't familiar with.
Look at that.
And that's what I liked. I like him bleeding and like it got the aggression out of it, like we've been talking about. We want that ruthless aggression.
Yes.
And he poured it out of him, and then he started to get technical with Zack Sabre Jr. That back and forth.
Technical.
Oh,
like, he definitely got super technical. And then especially that jump springboard to the DDT that Umino did to Zack Zomber. Look at this shit. Oh man. Whew. Umino is the deal, man. He is the
and one of my favorite like reverses was Zack Sabre Jr. had the arm bar. He jumped on top of Shota Umino, had the arm bar in, and then that's when Shota picked him up. Like he just like threw him up and then did the DDT to him. It was like a reverse into like a spike DDT, and it was just nasty. It was just reversal after reversal in this match. Like he would do one of those moves, but then Zack Sabre Jr. would instantly clinch up and lock one of those submissions on him. And I just loved it. Like, just like you said, this tournament has been great with some of these matchups that they've been able to book. And they've had just like, they worked well together. And I could watch 3, 4, 5 of these guys' matches in succession because they have that commodity together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Dylan, man. Workly Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in, my brother. But you know what? I'm loving that like I said, I'm loving that the crowd is invested now in Umino. We're seeing that side of the women, and like, I want more though. I feel that he's there. The only problem that I have is he needs to find who he really is. He's getting there little by little. I know you comparing him to
that's the great thing about being a young talent that's on the way up. Like it takes time to find who you are. Like look how long it took Tama Tonga to find who he was.
It did took him quite some time. Yeah, that I do agree with.
But
that.
now Tama Tonga has evolved into his own guy.
Mm-hmm.
He has these own things that he does that have added up to him. But like it's gonna take time. Like we see him, maybe he needs a new finisher because he does the Death Rider, but then technically
nobody really using that in New Japan. So I mean, let him have it. Let him keep it. He's representing Jon Moxley, so it's like then you walking out with a jacket, you're representing Jon Moxley.
And Moxley does a different version of it in AEW. He picks him up and does it where Shota just drops him down. He doesn't pick him up at all. He just goes boom. So it's a different variation. So I could see him getting away with it. But like just like you said, maybe he needs a different look.
I think that's probably the only thing. I think but I get it because maybe pop culture in Japan. I know maybe the color, the colorful scheme. I guess I respect that. I'm not like, hey, disrespecting it at all. I mean, I love the culture of Japan, what they have, especially their food. Don't mind me of that. But no, not the sushi. No, there's something more than what they have. Not just sushi, ladies and gentlemen. They have a lot of things that I love about Japan's culture. But if maybe he could change it up a little bit more bolder, a little darker, more like mysterious. Like you want to be like, if he wants to like be that Moxley type of way, I mean, he could turn into that. But I know that you're also trying to attract the audience of the kids side. I noticed the kids will up to him, and it is cool. So I'm not.
It's tricky. It's a tricky situation.
This is what I would do, and this is just me. I think if he could be that version, the old school version, I would say like kind of the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean, like a lone wolf Karate Kid. He has his teacher. Like he had Moxley being his Miyagi. Okay, get to know yourself, your moves. Just like this match was like, okay, we saw the ground type that you have, but we already seen your attributes, your clothesline, your basics. Now it's time to test your ground, your ground techniques, and we saw it in this match for Shota Umino. So I feel like if Umino could have the kind of character of like Karate Kid style, like that character, and attracting the kids besides the adults, which he's doing now, I think the people will end up. I could say that in the future, in the next maybe 4 or 5 years, I would say he could be the next. I wouldn't say Naito, but I would say more like Tanahashi. He'll get to that Tanahashi level. It's just going to take his time in his course because I know that he idolizes Tanahashi, which I'm assuming why he's wearing those colors. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see how what it comes down to. All right, what do we got the next? Ooh, baby, this is the one. This is the one right here, baby. That
Dump Truck Davis
gotta do it.
Evil.
Oh, this match right here was
such good shit.
This was good shit. You want to talk about good shit? This one was.
You had everything in this matchup. You had the wrestling, the interferences. You had both groups getting involved. They even used the ref in tag team moves at several times in this matchup. This, just like you said, this was just really good shit. Start at the beginning, kind of like the Jeff Cobb Evil match, where they start out wrestling. They had a lot of good grapple ups, and then Dick Togo gets involved, and then House of Torture gets involved early, trying to come in and attack Davis, but then boom, right away you see Jeff Cobb, Aaron Henare come out because Fletcher was already out there. They get involved. Oh my god, I loved it. I loved the fact how they did Coriolis against who was it? Was it you? No, yeah, it was Show. They did it to Show because Show went to hit Jeff Cobb with the wrench. So they did the Coriolis tag team finish to him. You had Great O'Khan take out the Dick Togo with the handcuffs. He handcuffed him to Great O'Khan and rolled him to the outside. And then you had Jeff Cobb get revenge. Jeff Cobb got a lot of revenge in this match. Of course, he hit the Tour of the Islands, and then Mark Davis did the spin finish. I forget what he calls it. The spinning slam or something like that.
Something like that, I think.
Yeah. But it was just like they had a little bit of everything. And then you could see Will Ospreay with the sleeve for his shoulder. Getting that's how they came out. He went out and he was like, "Get out of here, guys! Get out of here, guys!" And getting the troops, the rally behind Mark Davis, and Davis gets the victory and keeps the wild card underdog tournament status alive, and he moves on to the semifinals in place of Will Ospreay. So United Empire is still being represented in the tournament. It's like it was just a matter of time before the evil tactics backfired on House of Torture You can only do it so much before it gets caught up and used against you because the ref being knocked out. And, of course, the United Empire embraced. Mark Davis gets the victory. We've said it the last one that we just talked about. Mark Davis is having a great singles show in here. And I do love everything that he's doing. Him and Fletcher, if they haven't been signed, they better be used a lot more in the future than they have been in the past. I think they solidified themselves with New Japan.
I think they're going to be signed. They're going to stay because if you notice, even though we don't cover the other rest of the match cards, but we're seeing already that it's the future coming between Bishamon versus Aussie Open, which is going to happen pretty soon. I mean, you're going to have Goto and Yoshihashi defending the IWGP heavyweight tag team titles eventually down the line versus, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher, which I'm glad we're seeing that because you need it. You need tag teams like that, especially for Aussie Open. And I think not only that, this match that we saw with Mark Davis solidified what United Empire is all about.
Yeah.
Because now they're faces here. Right here in this match, they were fucking faces. Loved it. The back and forth between him and Evil, and just seeing this guy moves like Stan Hansen, but his type of way, like just that brawling style, but technical, and just adding with the clothesline, cross body, suicide dive, and for the first time that we're seeing, and you know how Evil always throws motherfuckers into the.
Yes.
He ended up throwing, Mark Davis into Kevin Kelly and Chris Charlton. So I was just like, oh, okay, damn, that's bad, that's horrible. But this match really solidified, for me, Mark Davis, United Empire, and you know what? I know I might get shitted on this, but I don't care. This one also made House of Torture strong, as a faction. I mean, if you look at the faction, seeing this, the brawl they had with United Empire, I mean, it made them strong. And I'm kind of glad we're seeing that because we always knock them off like, oh, they're just a bunch of fucking jobbers. They're just there. Like, yeah. But no. Now we're seeing, now we're seeing, more of.
I think it's the wrench. I think it's the excessive use of the wrench in every match that they're in. I think that's what gets me with them is Show always pulling out. I know how good Show is, and they make him look like a comedic wrestler now. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it is with me. Is I know who Yujiro is. He's very underrated. I know who Evil is, and I know who Dick Togo is. But it's Show who they've turned into kind of a joke.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense now. But I just can't wait. I'm excited for for United Empire, and I've got some couple of pictures here that I want to just show very briefly.
Yeah,
let me just upload them right here so you guys can see it. Man, but let's see. There you go. Kevin Kelly getting his ass dropped right there, and Chris Charlton. There's Mark Davis right there. Like, oh, did not expect that because normally we see Evil throw it to the ring, to the timekeeper. Jesus Christ! And of course,
the timekeeper was kind of happy in that he was like, "Thank God for once it's not me."
Yeah, exactly. And there you go, Mark Davis with the slam, baby. Oh, baby, it is all over. And of course, the celebration, of course, United Empire and Great O'Khan handcuffing himself to Dick Togo. That's why Dick Togo's right there below him. If you guys see.
Yep.
And that's the main reason. Karma's a bitch. There you go. But man, Will Ospreay right there. At least he came out. He got everybody going. What's going on, Tino? Appreciate you for tuning in, brother.
Yeah, what's going on?
Man, I really enjoyed it. Great fucking matchup. Fantastic. Man, this solidified Mark Davis' career, man. I don't give a damn what anybody says. This shit solidified.
I think when they have the match with the Bishamon, I think that would be a perfect time to put the belts on Aussie Open.
Oh hell yeah! That's perfect timing.
Like with the momentum that's on Aussie Open, Bishamon have momentum from winning. They beat FTR, they defeated TMDK. You get Ozzy open right in there, and you get them in the victory. I love the fact that they have 2 new tag teams to go up against. Like, I love the fact that TMDK's there. They're going after the Impact World titles at Multiverse in a couple weeks. TMDK in that 4-way tag match, I believe it is. And then they got Ozzy open. Give him the shot. Give him the tag title shot, and then put the belts on them and see what they can do. It's Ozzy open in the United Empire. They need more belts because the only belts they have right now are the junior tag titles.
Yeah, that was this between TJP
and Francisco Akira, yeah.
Francisco
Fireball.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh man, but this match was great. It really made Mark Davis this one. And not only that, but just if you guys go back and watch this match, ladies and gentlemen, the crowd, I love hearing the cheering crowd. This got me.
Yes.
Make it my heart. You can hear the crowd, Davis. Like, you can hear them, like the Japanese crowd cheering for Davis.
Yeah.
It looks like we got ourselves a face now fucking faction. Looks like United Empire is going face.
They've done the turn. They've slowly done a turn from heel to face within the matter of 2 months.
Yeah. And I'm so happy. And just to see that, I can't wait, man. It's going to be it's getting hotter. Juicy, baby. But this match, go watch it, ladies and gentlemen. It's 15 minutes of great action and great storytelling. I'm going to tell you that right now. But you want to hear about storytelling? This right here is storytelling at its best.
And if you think this is storytelling, wait until we get to the next match now.
Let's get it. Let's go, baby. What is the next one? Yes. I need to do it. Nettie, baby. Nettie. We got 2 LIJ members going at it with each other. Tetsuya Naito versus SANADA. And the ups. I'm sorry, bro. I love New Japan. You need to understand. It's making my nipple hard, baby. Yeah, that's what it is.
No. This is for you, Devin. Talking about storytelling. This is storytelling. That they did this in mind of thinking of you, wanting to see stories being told. They told it here in this match, and then after the match. This was pure brilliance on New Japan's part.
Oh yeah. Oh, this match.
Wonderful.
I can tell you that. The thing is just the storytelling of the match. Naito being the heel, mainly SANADA being the face because I guess it's SANADA's hometown, and not only that, SANADA wins most of his matches there in Kirk. I think were they in Kirk Hall? I think that's where they're at, right? Where were they? I don't know, guys. Yes, they were in Kirk Hall. So that's where SANADA won most of his matches, and seeing like Naito beating the shit out of SANADA, like brutalizing him with those fist clotheslines, like seeing and not only that, putting his foot in his face while he's in the ground, like trying to like. That's what it told me, like, you're belittling in SANADA in this fucking match, and I'm just like,
all while Taichi's on commentary, watching the match, and and they make the notion with Taichi there, like usually SANADA just breezes through this tournament like with laziness, but they said that he woke up the dragon per se in SANADA. He woke up the sleepy giant where ever since he was like, fight me, give me a good match, he woke up and then boom, he's been a different wrestler. He's had that aggression like we've been saying in every match. He showed out.
Dying to see that.
You see Naito smack him, and then a couple of times, and then he just freaks out. He's just like, and then he fights back. And then they even said it like Naito goes through this tournament winning by pins, and SANADA debuted his new finish, that new underhook reverse DDT.
I love that new finisher, man.
And Naito went for a couple of pins, didn't get him, and then just out of nowhere, the transition towards the end was perfect. How he went to do Destino, he hits the first one, kicks out, goes to hit the second one, and it gets reversed turn into the new finish, and then Sanada pins him 1, 2, 3. And I got to let you talk about what happened afterwards, because this is what we've been waiting for months. Me and Tim have been talking about it like it needs to happen, and finally it does.
Oh yeah, and then just you talk about the aggression of SANADA. Like I have a picture like how he's like, oh, that's how upset he was. He was like, you motherfucker, like I'm gonna kick your ass. And then oh man, just seeing the fire of SANADA in this matchup was just
he wanted it. He wanted it more.
Oh man, he fucking deserved to have it more, because I've been saying it forever, man. SANADA's been so underrated. They don't, and this. Okay, I found a picture that I want to use. This is a picture I want to fucking use. Hold on, because before I even get into the aftermath, I need to put this picture, because this one. Hold on, come on, please let me fucking have it. Let me have. Oh, damn it! All right, I need to put it on canvas. Son of a bitch. Let me do it right quick. I got it right quick. I got to put this picture, because I think this is where it told it all, because. You know how I mentioned that he had his hold on, let's see, detach. Let's see. Okay, there you go. All right, there we go. Okay, I need to put this picture up. Come on, man, this is just taking forever. Jesus, I just want to show this picture, because this one right here. Okay, here we go. This is the one. Look at it, baby. Look at it. One. Oh no, wrong one. What the hell? Why is it giving me that picture? I don't want that one. All right, there you go. You see. Yes. Look at his fucking putting his. Oh, I think that's what really snapped it away. He's like, "Fuck this!" And after the match, we finally got something.
I got a picture to put up for after the match. Here it is.
Yep, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. SANADA leaves Los Ingobernables de Japón. He is gone. He leaves the faction, because we had Taichi, the one on his left with the sunglasses. Not with sunglasses, with the glasses.
Yeah.
Not Takamichinoku, but the other guy, Taichi. He came in the ring first. He put his hand out to shake SANADA's hand. SANADA, he picks up SANADA, shakes his hand. They hug it out. The rest of the Just Four guys comes out. They hug with each other. Shingo's on commentary on the Japanese side. It comes out like, what the hell's going on? And that's when you know that SANADA literally said,
and it was great, because they had both factions were in the ring, but it wasn't like it was confusion on LIJ's part, and then NAITO was just laid out, like NAITO was done, and then you see SANADA takes the thing. He was like, if I stay, nothing will ever be of me in this group, because I'll always be behind NAITO, and NAITO will never do good by me in the end. It's always about him, because he's the leader. And it was like, so I need to do right by myself. And, they mentioned him and Taichi have that past. They were both trained by the same guy. They both have that keen eye towards each other. And Taichi woke him up, and they were like, Kevin Kelly goes, do you think this was planned after that, or do you think this was just organically done because of the situation? And we don't know. But I like the switch, the switch in his demeanor after he takes the mic. He was like, I'm part of them now. It's just 5 guys now. And then he tells LIJ, he's like, go, get out of my ring.
Get out of my ring. When he told them that, when SANADA told them that, I lost my mind. I fucking went. He fucking get out of my ring. Here's the thing, though. Here's the catch a little bit. At least SANADA did it in front of them. Did not do no betrayals. Did not do like, hey, turning his back on NAITO. Like how Evil did. So none of that happened. He literally just tell him, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being the lower bottom level of the card on this group. We've seen NAITO being a champion. We've seen Shingo being a champion. Hiromu being a junior heavyweight champion. Bushi, it's him and Bushi most of the time. And Bushi was already with Titan. Where's SANADA at? So that's why
we said it, like SANADA's always been stagnant he's always doing good in the tournaments, getting to the end, but he never gets put over the top because it's like whenever he does it, I feel like there's no support for him. But then everybody has to support Naito, but then when it's him, it's like there's not really anybody there. It's just like, oh, Sanada's having a good run, like, and he's part of LIJ, so we'll say something after the match is done, but it's never anything during the match. And you had Taichi there. You had Taichi rooting for him, and they're like, we're going to be there to take you to the next level. And then you see the picture right there to the right where he has everything over them. They have him stand in the middle, and it's like, this is our guy.
Yes! This is our guy. Sanada's an elitist faction, but fucking change the name, man. You're not a burger joint, damn it. It's like just 5 guys. Just 5 guys. No, you're not a fucking burger joint. Even Kevin Kelly said in the commentary, you need to change. And Chris Charlton and Kevin Kelly was like, hey, you guys got to change that name, though, because that faction name is like you're a burger joint. Man, you're not a burger joint. What, you're sponsored by 5 guys? Shit. I wish we were sponsored by 5 guys. Yes. Jesus, they need to change that name. Something different. They got
NJPW Weekly, sponsored by 5 guys.
There you go. 5 guys.
There you go.
That's like, love it. Yes. Sanada.
Tranquilo.
NAITO. Sorry, baby. The dream is over. It's done.
Do you feel like there's going to be a rematch? That's my question.
I'll get there. My thing is, I'll get there. I just want to say, Sanada has been with LIJ April 2016. It could have been what? We're 2020, so
7 years almost.
7 years of being in Los Ingobernables. It's over, baby. Sorry.
So now
I'm sorry. It's for you. It's for you, Naito. Here you go. It's over. No mas. It feels weird. It's not gonna be there no more. So it's like now you're down. You're back to 4. I'm not counting Titan because he's in Mexico. He barely comes. He's part time. But if you talk about in Japan, you see right here at the bottom what I have Hiromu, you have Sanada, who's now gone. Then you have Naito, Shingo, and Bushi. So you have 4 guys, just 4 guys. That's not even 5 guys.
Hey, we
said whatever he can.
We said it when he got added. We felt like Sanada was the odd man out because you had Bushi and Titan, who would be a tag team. You got Shingo, who was the powerhouse. You got Hiromu, who was the junior heavyweight star, who should be moving up to heavyweight now. He should be taking over the Sanada role. Basically, he's done it for the past like a year and a half. And then you got Naito, who's the boss. So it's like where Sanada was just not going to fit in. And this was the perfect time to take him off. And I said it. I was like, I think that they audibled this once Raw Ospreay got hurt.
All I know is that I think I've been asking for this, and it happened. Gato, damn, that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT, damn it, that's right. Because Sanada will be that. Now that he's an elite, I'm losing it because the fact is now we get to see Taichi and Sanada probably enter together as a tag team, going after those tag team titles, build those tag team division up. Sanada, I gotta calm down. Jesus Christ, I'm losing my mind here. Jesus Christ, I know.
Tranquilo.
Hey, I'll be tranquilo. Okay, Naito, I know.
Let's fucking go.
I'm happy. I am loving it.
I love it.
I do love it because the fact is now we got Sanada on his own with this faction. So you ask me, this rivalry is it over? No, because Shingo called out Taichi. I will never forgive you for this. He told him that. And he said, I will never forgive you. So he's gonna go after now the 5 guys. So this is gonna baby, let's fucking go. I don't look. Now that we have Sanada in the quarterfinals, I don't know, man. But let's get into the quarterfinals, bro. Let's close it down right here. Oh, we got, that's right, Shota Umino versus David Finlay. And this was another great matchup. An incredible matchup here.
Yeah.
And all I can tell you is that juicy shit. Good matchup, 17 minutes. I like the fact that they started brawling very, very quick. Offensive moves from Finlay. This time we saw more aggression on this match for Finlay.
Yes.
And we got to see this is what I think they're watching the show, man. I think they are watching this. Gato, if you're watching, thank God. I'm happy that you are watching here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network.
Yeah.
But yes, just seeing that we're getting that aggression from Finlay happen in this matchup. It was fucking great. I really enjoyed it. And Finlay with the upset with the Panda, of course, with the Trash Panda, and it's over. You know what? He got to change that finish move. Honestly, basically, I don't feel it's too aggressive. I don't know. I don't. It's just me.
Maybe it's a thing that he's going to debut one soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's something to think about there because we don't know what he's going to do. Like, I feel like he's going to win. I feel like what better way to win than to debut with a new finish? Like, that's the way to go, in my opinion. Like, don't give everybody everything all at once. Sprinkle a little bit of this, a little bit of that through the tournament, and then do it that way. That way they don't see everything coming right in the beginning.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Like one thing he did in this matchup that I really liked, it's very subtle. Like he was getting hit, and to neutralize Shota, he kneed him in the thigh. Like he hit him in the thigh, buckled him from behind, and then took advantage of it. He took lead there, and it's like that's only a heel move that heels would do. Like exposing the weak thigh from the match before that he had against Zack Sabre Jr. He was exposing a weakness that he could see, and then he utilized it to his side, and that's what helped him with the Trash Panda towards the end because he pulled it out of nowhere, but it was more so the fact that there wasn't anything Shota Umino could do because he was already compromised at the moment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Totally agree on that. Yeah. So, I mean, it was a good matchup. I mean, now that Finlay move on to the semifinals, so he advances. So now we go on to the main event of this quarterfinal to happen just this morning on our time. And that is, of course, Tama Tonga versus Hirooki Goto. Tama Tonga with the win out of nowhere. The gun stunner. Yes. It was out of nowhere, this one. It was a good match, good, solid, classic. Good to see these guys. And mind you that this match, was important for Tama Tonga because he never defeated Hirooki Goto in a tournament at all. Every time when they meet in a tournament, he loses to Goto. So now this is the one that, hey, this rivalry is intense. They came out, just seeing, just Goto with the GTR almost, but he did the other GTR by the corner one.
He did the hanging one from the corner, and I love that transition when he went to do the GTR, and at the last second, Tama Tonga reverses it into the gun stun. That was pure timing. You couldn't time it any better. That's when both guys can work together. Is when they can pull off something so close as that was, because it was this close. It was like minuscule of seconds, and he did that. And this match was just great. Like, I love this. Tama Tonga once again going far in the tournament. He made the playoffs in the G1, and then now he's in the semifinals in the New Japan Cup. He's blossoming in the singles role, and we still have no idea what's going to happen with Tonga Loa when he's going to come back. It could be any time now. It could be out for a long time, but he's taking advantage of the singles run, kind of like what Sho did when Yo was out. Like he showcased himself in the Super Juniors Cup, and that's what Tom is doing with these tournaments. And he's becoming one of my favorite wrestlers on New Japan. Just the fire. He was getting the crowd involved. And like he was trying to get them to hype him up to get him all set up because he's like that was fueling his fire, was the crowd chanting him, and that gave him that extra edge. Like right before he did the supreme flow off the top rope, like he couldn't see where he was going after doing the Samoan slam. He was like this, and then he was like, come on, and the crowd was getting going. It came in the extra oof to jump on the top rope to do the supreme flow to set up the ending of the match. And like just those little nuances that he does to make the match even better, to add a little bit more to it, to get everybody on the outside like a part of the match.
Absolutely. Oh man, good matchup. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
solid. It was great. And man, ladies and gentlemen, if you're missing out, you need to start watching this tournament, man.
Yeah,
because this is good shit. Let's look. So this is what we got in the semifinals. SANADA versus Mark Davis. That's the is it the quarterfinals? Wait, hold on.
Semis. It's semis.
Yeah, you're right.
So SANADA versus Mark Davis, and on the other side we got David Finlay versus Tama Tonga.
Oh man, you got 4 of these gentlemen. This is getting really, really juicy right here because man, I don't know who to go for. Mark Davis or SANADA. That's a tough one. I love these two athletes, and I hope that match will be match of the night. All that is happening tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
on New Japan World. Of course, you need to go in and watch it because this is the one, ladies and gentlemen, you need to. And that's happening tonight. That's happening at 5:30 a.m. Eastern time, pretty much Sunday, 2:30 Pacific Standard Time in the morning, which is Sunday. So this is happening tonight. And also we got, Tonga and Finlay is going to be a great one because you can see that no matter what, you have Gato on one side and John on the other side. These guys will always collide no matter what. Always. And
it's always going to be that battle between them. And it's Tama Tonga. He said it. He was like, I've always respected David Finlay, but now he's going down the wrong path. And he was like, it's my job to stop him here. And it's like, and I still think Dave Finley's going to find a way to win. But then I feel like there's going to be like a small rivalry in the future between the two. Like I could see Tama Tonga, if Finlay wins the belt, challenge for the belt or has something to play there. But then he's the never 08 champion, so there's a lot of yin to the yang when it comes to New Japan. You see rivalries that are built in the tournaments here to get them from point A to point B with the transitions from one tournament to another. Because another thing that they did a couple of days ago was they announced the start of the Best of the Super Juniors, which will start May 13th. It's the 30th anniversary. They announced that. So it's only going to be 2 weeks. So it's going to be May 13th to the 27th or something like that. So I'm very excited to see who they get from Impact and who they get from AEW, just like they did last year, how they got like Ace Austin was in it, Wheeler Yuta was in it. Like, could we see Chris Bay in it this year?
I hope so. I hope we see Chris Bay on it. I hope we fucking do. He needs to be there.
Teton, El Lindemann, we see all these guys. I want to see some new guys now. I want to see some new ones. I want to see a guy like Speedball Mike Bailey in it. I want to see him in it.
Oh man, I can't wait, man. I'm excited. I'm so happy. Yeah. It's gonna be an incredible tournament, which we appreciate you all guys for watching and enjoying your afternoon here with us for the New Japan Weekly. And of course, don't forget later this evening, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network, as we got our boys, right? Our Chowtown boys, Mr. Streets himself will be live at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time here on the Bloodline Network Entertainment Network live. Roto Slappers, they'll be on later this evening. Make sure you guys tune in.
I believe they're doing their tiers for outfielders. I think that's what it is. They're doing outfielders. They're trying to bust it out before the start of the baseball season, which is 2 weeks away. And I know they're going to mention a little bit of the World Baseball Classic. As we're talking now, I believe the USA and Venezuela are playing at the moment. But they're going to do the different tiers for outfielders. Like if you're into fantasy baseball, they're going to talk all about the outfielders. You got tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, what they think about each player in each position. You want to go to Roto Slappers to get your needs and your fuel for fantasy baseball. So once again, down there, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time on the Bloodline Entertainment Network.
Absolutely. You heard it right from Bacon, ladies and gentlemen. So don't forget. And we'll be back for the New Japan Weekly. We'll be here Tuesday. We will announce, of course, what time, because we will have to recap what's happening this evening's quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals happening the following day. We're going to recap all of that happening on Tuesday and bring you back again with some New Japan Weekly. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Bloodline Entertainment Network. Go right up. You'll see it right in the description right below here on the channel. Also, check out the website if you want to get your updates or anything else going around. For example, anything fantasy sports articles. You can go to the bloodlinenetwork.com. Make sure you guys check it out. And I can go ahead and share my screen very momentarily so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Baby, I'm sharing. Let me see. There you go. The share. There you go. So make sure, ladies and gentlemen, go to right there, the bloodlinenetwork.com. You got your 2023 NFL draft player profile. Of course, you got all your articles. Of course, Clark Street was live last night as well. Go back and look at the replay.
Great show. Great show from them too.
Show. Yes. And also you had, of course, Top Rope Wrestle Talk. Man, Dom and Bruce killed it as well. Go check it out. De Niro as well. We're taking us back in time for the second episode of SmackDown. Check that out too. And don't forget, click on the article, of course, top 10 NFL quarterbacks of all time. This is all, man, brought to you by TK himself. Writing it down here, baby. He breaks down the statistics, the details, the stats of everything. So anything you want to read upon, check it out here on bloodlinenetwork.com.
We got a little bit.
And, of course, you have Bakley's bet slip that's happening right now. If you haven't put your bets in for the main card, this is the time to do it now. Bakley put up his bet slips. Check it out. Make sure, once again, bloodlinenetwork.com.
We got a little bit of everything. Like if you're into the UFC, you got my bet slips and you got my videos. If you're into wrestling, of course, we got the wider range of wrestling shows. Into baseball, Roto Slappers, into football, you got the Tim King Show, and like we got a little bit of everything. We just had the debut of the Out of Here podcast with Nick. He had the Philly Sports Network, I believe, was on as a special guest on the very first episode, talking Phillies baseball, getting ready for the season. They were talking about Bryce Harper, how the team's going to do with him out until July, and like just a little bit of questionnaires here and there on the different nuances of the team, the add-ons, what Trey Turner's going to bring to the lineup, the new bullpen arms, what they're going to bring. Tune in every week to the Out of Here podcast on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. And then, of course, you got Tim had Sam Adonis on last week, so you can rewatch that episode. That was a great interview from him with Sam Adonis, who wrestles on MLW and Lucha. So check that out. There's just a lot of content on the Bloodline Entertainment Network.
Oh, yeah, such good shit. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't watch us, you can listen to us. Go to Spreaker, of course, put it in the Bloodline Entertainment Network or the Spreaker. If you go to the website, you can click it right here. If you want to listen to our audio platforms, you can listen to it all there while you're on the road. Either you're working out in the gym, or you're taking a nice hot, nice bath, a shower, or you're stuck in traffic, or you want to catch up with any updates. Listen to us on Spreaker as well. I'll go to the website bloodlinenetwork.com. You can listen to all the audios there. If you can't see us, you can listen to us. Make sure you guys do that. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back on Tuesday. Don't forget, later this evening, don't forget, Roto Slappers at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Pacific. Stay tuned for that. Don't, make sure you hit that notification button. Subscribe to the Bloodline Entertainment Network so you can get that notification. Roto Slappers will be coming on. And tomorrow, Circle Debate, of course, myself will be back in action, of course. That will happen at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 2 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock Pacific tomorrow, because we're going to be talking about recapping past week of professional wrestling and also AEW Dynamite and much, much more. And following that same day, we will have a special live interview for you guys as well, which stay tuned for more details in regards for that. But don't forget, subscribe and follow us here on not only on the Bloodline Entertainment Network, but also on our COD, Cage My IQ. Follow us there. Description's right below. So, ladies and gentlemen, we bid you do. Bagley, tell them we don't just podcast here in the Bloodline Entertainment Network. Tell them what the hell we do.
We like to make history.
That is right, baby. Peace.
Must bid you adieu, a goodbye, mwah, and good night.